Good morning, everybody. Please go ahead, if you will, and share and retweet. Get started in just a minute. Hey, Elaine. Hey, Robin. How's everybody this morning? Alan, good to see you. Just sharing this with everybody as well. Elaine, good to see you. Hopefully, we are on all cylinders today. Marlene, good to see you. Danielle, sorry for coughing in your face. All right. One more second and we'll be ready to go. All right, good morning, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. I'm wearing my Clout Hub t shirt today. If you haven't signed up for Clout Hub, please make sure you do today. Just go and download the Clout Hub app onto your phone. Sign up. A lot of things coming with Clout Hub. Hopefully, maybe someday I'll be able to restream from there. That would be really nice. Hey, Motown. Hey, Linda. Good morning, Linda Norman. Hey, Kim. Yeah, I can hear you today, so I'll stay. Great, Kim. There's sound, Danielle. Everybody else has sound, I believe. So let me know if everybody can hear me. Good morning, Ben. Good to see you. Give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear me. I think everybody can. So Danielle, you may need to go out and come back in. All right. So I'm going to read Proverbs 29 and then we'll get started. Thank you, Ben, for the thumbs up there, letting me know you can hear me. He who is often rebuked and hardens his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when a wicked man rules, the people groan. Whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. Hey, Wayne, good vibrations, good video and audio. I thought you were going to sing the good vibrations song. Da, da, da. I can hear you fine. Okay, perfect. The king establishes the land by justice, but he who receives bribes overthrows it. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. By transgression, an evil man is snared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. The righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. All right, that was Proverbs 29. Hey, Cully, good to see you. All right, for all of you in Florida, looks like the Hurricane Dorian could be a category 4. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. Thank you for the salute this morning, Robert. Robert, we're on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube all at the same time. So you're joining us on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Lori, good morning. Robin, it says amen. Absolutely. So weird because there are days I can't hear you, but I hear other broadcasters with no problem. Well, Kim, that's because other broadcasters may not get screwed with as much as I do. Yes, Alan, it's the New King James Version. So that's what's happening. Hey, Rick, good to see you. Yeah, we really do need to pray for those people in Florida. People like Cully, who will be outside, not even caring there's a hurricane and probably filming at all, because we all know Cully never leaves home ever. Okay, so it could be a category, the category 5 is at the largest, and Cully will still be there, filming it. So we know that's gonna happen. So, all right. Now, let's get to some of the news also. Oh, before we do, I want to let everybody know that, let me go here. We, yesterday, let me see here. I got the sign up sheet for February is up. All you need to do is go to SusanKnowles.com. And for some reason, I can't bring any of that up. Oh, here we go. Finally, let me bring this up for you. Well, actually, it's now that I've said it's coming, it's not coming. So there you go. Technology. The other day, let me just tell you something, everybody. On Tuesday, that was a really horrific day. Everything that could go wrong with technology went wrong. Everything that could go wrong, hey, Judy, good to see you. With the show, absolutely went wrong on Periscope. And then once the show was over, the God's Views on Political News, it disappeared on Facebook for about a day. Couldn't find it anywhere. Finally located it. I wasn't where it normally is. It was just one of those days. It was a horrible day. So here is the, hey Chizzy, here is the sign-up sheet. I got September sign-up sheet there at SusanKnowles.com if you'll go and sign up today for the 24/7 prayer room. Hey Barbara, all you have to do is basically sign up. Just commit to 1 hour. 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, 1 hour a month, just 1 hour to pray for our country, our president, our nation, each other, on and on and on. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute about AG Barr. So anyway, I would appreciate it if you could go and sign up. And I think Robin is the one who's carrying the burden on the prayer room for the most part. She has signed up and keeps signing up. Thank goodness that she is diligent in doing that. It was everywhere, not one channel. Yeah, it was Barbara. It was the weirdest day in technology that I've seen in a long time. It was on Facebook having problems. Periscope was having problems. Everything restreaming was having problems. It was, I don't know. Is this a sign of things to come? That's what I'm wondering. So I think it's pretty odd that happened, but yeah, it was a strange day. All right, now James Comey. Let's get to what Ryan over in Facebook was talking about. Today the DOJ, the IG on Thursday, that's today, released a scathing report stating that former FBI Director James Comey violated FBI policies and his employment agreement with the Bureau by leaking memos containing classified information. Hey, Monica. And the IG said, we conclude that Comey's retention, handling, and dissemination of certain memos violated DOJ and FBI policies and his FBI employment agreement. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean that they could possibly do something in regards to his retirement? Maybe his other benefits that he gets. Maybe. Will they? I don't know. So far, Attorney General Barr has declined to press charges against Comey for his handling of the memos. So far, we haven't seen anybody be prosecuted. We have seen other people who, hey, Michael, we've seen other people who have nothing to do with the FBI and the Department of Justice being prosecuted. But it seems so far, these people, the DOJ, the FBI, they're walking scot-free. Will that change? I don't know. Will we get Comey when it comes up to the FISA application and possible fraud that he committed on the court? Hey, Lee, for signing a FISA application when he knew that the money coming from the Steele dossier came from the Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and that Steele dossier was never verified. And you basically, if you want to look at it, the allegations are he lied to the court. Is anything going to happen? I don't know. People keep saying, oh yeah, possibly that's when the big deal is going to come. So I don't know. So far, I'm not so comfortable with that because I'm not seeing anything happen to anybody. IG report said he didn't release any classified information. I don't know. I maybe that's true, Danielle. I don't know. But I think he did leak information, and I guess that's in violation of his employment contract, and what that means, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to show you if it works today. Going to show you Laura Ingraham last night talking to Rudy Giuliani.
Go back to hiding behind those blue curtains. All right, Horowitz's report on Comey is separate from the larger one of the DOJ's handling of the Trump-Russia probe, but it's still expected to judge the former FBI director quite harshly. Here to respond to this bombshell, hours going to be out, is Rudy Giuliani, former New York City mayor, Trump's personal attorney. Rudy, we didn't previously know Horowitz was blocking out a separate report just on Comey. Like, he had that big book launch, remember? So maybe he can do another book tour. He can do a report tour on the report coming out tomorrow.
Well, I don't want to oversell it because I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think I know Horowitz, not personally, but I know he was an assistant U.S. attorney and a good one. And I hired Jim Comey, so I think I know Jim Comey.
So you're responsible.
So well, the president always reminds me I'm responsible for Comey, but and exceedingly. The reality is that Comey's conduct was outrageous for a prosecutor. Any decent prosecutor would be bouncing off the walls, starting with the completely fixed Hillary Clinton investigation. That was a sellout, a fix from day one. It was a disgrace. I don't think J. Edgar Hoover ever did that. I think if you take us through the Steele affidavit, Steele dossier, and the lying about a validated Steele dossier was validated, and putting his name down under oath, I mean, that's straight out perjury.
Well, the FISA court gets this application.
He and I put people in jail for much less than that.
It's an application that does not reveal that the dossier was funded by the president's opponent. That's a material fact in that FISA.
I was there for the beginning of the FISA court, and Joe DeGenova was one of the lawyers on the FISA court, one of the first. And that's a sacred duty, because nobody gets to respond. I did hundreds of affidavits for regular wiretaps for mafia people. Well, somebody challenged those eventually in court. But when I did a FISA affidavit, nobody ever got to see it. It was my responsibility to be honest with the court. That man lied. Straight out lied. There's no way he didn't know that the Steele dossier was a big phony piece of junk. You read the first 3 pages, if you're a professional, this is like National Enquirer.
He wanted it to be true, Rudy, and that's why he went and briefed the president on it, spooked the president,
then,
ultimately leak it out.
4 months later, when he knows it's not true, he goes and tells it to the president like it's real. That's pure J. Edgar Hoover. That, man, I got something on you, Mr. President.
Is there a crime here, or is it a series of unethical acts?
How about a simple one? The signature on the FISA affidavit is a crime.
How is it a crime?
It's a crime because it's a false statement under oath. He signed on a penalty of perjury. That means something. Perjury, it's a 5-year statute. How many people did Comey put in jail for a single perjury? Martha Stewart? She didn't even commit perjury. She made a false statement to the FBI.
What about the leak of the document?
Martha Stewart had to go to jail.
What about the leak of
go to jail 3 times more.
The memo to the file, his own file. He always goes to the Sudan, writes memos, and then he gives it to his pal, gets it to the New York Times.
The leaking could be more unethical than illegal.
So, in fact, that's probably why they didn't prosecute him, because it is unethical. If there was no classified information, then basically we're looking at it just being unethical and not being a crime. So I guess I'm wondering, when this all is said and done and they've opened up this new, an investigation on Comey in and of itself, right? And they have, his files over here and then everybody else. Are they going to find anything on Comey? Is it going to matter? Are they going to send him to prison for perjury? I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of doubtful on a lot of things. I would like to see that, and I would like to see that the DOJ is waiting for that big whammy of violating that the FISA application. Now, if that happens, wherever Comey, whatever state he is an attorney in, he should be disbarred for that. If he committed perjury, if they prove it, if he lied to the court, those are grounds to check in, for the state bar, wherever he is at, to look at him for a violation and disbar him. But is that all going to happen? Judy said she's very pessimistic. Danielle says true. Ben says it's an unreal story. And it is. It's truly an unreal story when you think about what's going on and how everybody, it seems, is getting away with it, and everybody being on the DOJ, FBI, the Clintons getting away with it. Daniel said it's unethical not to prosecute Comey. Hey, I don't know if it's unethical, but it's a dang shame because, justice should be equal. 6.4 Oregon earthquake, Chessie just said right now. Clinton will take care of him, Rick said. I don't know, Rick. I don't think so. Not on Comey. Comey needs to pay a price for his actions, Michael said. Ben gives me a thumbs up. Alexis said, I would like for our nation to stand for the law. I would too. I would like for the nation to stand for equal justice for all. We haven't seen any justice. I'm praying we do. Yeah, I I'm praying that we do also, because enough is enough. Other people are getting justice. People on the left seem to be getting justice. We don't seem to be getting any. If I'm ever in court, I'm going to say I misspoke. Judy said. Danielle said, no one goes to jail. I'm so disappointed and disgusted. Marilyn said that. Marilyn said, no one goes to jail. I'm so disappointed and disgusted. I know. Well, if you're other people, you do. What happened to our laws? I know. What happened to our laws? Exactly. It's an unequal justice system right now. That's what we're seeing, and it's got to change. Hey, Nick. Thanks for joining us, Nick. Good to see you. All right, so there was some breaking news before we went on to, equal justice. It would be nice. It would be nice, Alexis, to finally see that. President Trump is going to keep 8,600 troops in Afghanistan after a deal with the Taliban. I still can't believe that we're talking and making deals with the Taliban, but okay. So 8,600 troops are going to be staying. Comey was a bad cop from the start. And I think, Barbara, it seems like he got worse as time went on. Totally got worse. Now, here's something shocking. The Surgeon General issues the first marijuana-related advisory in decades to warn about the effects on teens and pregnant women. So we needed a Surgeon General to tell us that marijuana was bad for children and pregnant women. Okay. And a long time coming, right? We haven't heard anything from the Surgeon General. And how long have people been using marijuana? And how long has it been legal in certain states? Danielle said, I think we need to get out of Afghanistan. Yep. Judy said the swamp is alive and well. Ben said he had bad intelligence, period. Yeah, I don't know. What can you say about what's going on in the DOJ and the FBI? I don't know. Draining the swamp is hard to do, right? Good morning, Robert. But, I don't know. I don't know how you do this. I had faith in William Barr that he wasn't part of the swamp. I will tell you, if he doesn't prosecute someone, then I'm going to know for sure that he is a part of the swamp. There's no other way around it. There have been too many things that show that Comey ought to be prosecuted, Andrew McCabe, and on and on. Sidebar, I'm going to be a grandma again. Aw, congratulations, Judy. Barbara says, new evidence shows it causes violence in teens. That's talking about the marijuana. It also causes memory loss, short-term memory loss, Barbara, off of prolonged use. If Comey isn't prosecuted for FISA fraud, we are in serious trouble. Nothing will stop the criminal thuggery, Tim said over on Facebook. You are absolutely right, Tim. If something doesn't happen, if we don't get a prosecution out of this, you can hang it up. Lane said, I think we need a plunger. Yep. Don't know if we will ever drain the swamp. Michael said, C. Everett Koop was the last time I heard anything. Danielle said, true. And Ben said, intelligence war. Judy said, thank you. Ryan Elliott said, Comey not exonerated. No, he's not exonerated. We're not saying that he is, Ryan. But we're saying if he doesn't go down for that FISA abuse, then we know that you're not going to drain the swamp. The swamp is bigger than we even knew. They want to use marijuana in children too. Yeah, I've as I told you before, I've had clients who had long-term use of marijuana as teenagers, and they had short-term memory loss. And, that's not good. Barr is part of the swamp, Linda said. Well, Linda, I will agree with that. I will agree with you if we don't get a prosecution out of this. Then I will know that Barr is part of the swamp. And that if you've got the DOJ working and is a part of the swamp, and you're hoping to get justice, you can forget it. It's not going to happen. But I'm going to wait and see, because I want to believe, I really want to believe that Barr is not part of the swamp, that he's going to do the right thing, that justice, at least some justice, is going to be served. I mean, I have to wait and see on that. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Absolutely, Kim. Kim's over on YouTube now. You can hear and see us, Kim, and you can also, isn't it great? You can also see the comments that everybody is saying over there on YouTube. I really like that aspect of it. Wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about Barr. If Barr doesn't prosecute someone, especially Comey, Wayne, in this, yeah, you forget. Been using marijuana? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Or is it just you forget? Okay, so yesterday, breaking news was Gillibrand dropped out of the race. I don't know. I didn't even know she was in it. It had been so long. You like it on YouTube, Kim? Yeah, I like it now that you can see all of the comments, because at least you can see what everybody is saying and you can interact if you want to. And you can say comments, and of course I read them, and that way you interact with people on Periscope. Okay, so we will. I will hold out judgment and see what happens until Barr goes and comes along. See what he does. Hope you will hold out judgment. I know some of you, like Linda said, Barr is part of the swamp. That's it. So could be true. We'll just wait and see. Now, this morning, poor Ilhan Omar. Everybody just hates her. Everybody causes her problems. She's just wonderful. And what's your problem with her? Well, she came out with a tweet this morning, and it says, the amount of energy and money people are spending to smear my character is alarming. It's as if these people can't come to terms with my existence in Congress. I wonder why. And here's what I wonder, and this is what my response to her. I mean, again, she's trying to be the victim. Poor little thing. Everybody just treats her poorly, and they just don't understand her, that because she has wonderful character, right? So here's what I wrote to her, and I said that because almost everything about who you are, how you came to be a citizen, your recent alleged affair and possible campaign finance violations, along with your ties to CARE, are all suspect and need investigating. Any more questions? I mean, seriously, you can sit there with a straight face and wonder why, poor little you are having people investigate you. Robin says she needs to go. She's sick, and you're sick of her. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Wayne says she's a crybaby. Absolutely a crybaby. Omar's a tool for the devil. Rick said she's something else. I mean, seriously. And it's amazing. Thank you, Judy. Judy says excellent. It's amazing how when the allegations came out in her quote unquote alleged paramour, his ex-wife put in the documents. Wayne said, good for you, Susan. His ex-wife put in the documents that her husband wanted a divorce because he came forward and said, I'm in love with Ilhan Omar. And so we have court documents that have those allegations in them. Now, allegations don't make them true. I agree. But we do have allegations nonetheless that the ex-wife is saying this is what he wants. Glenn Beck compares her spending to Crenshaw's. It's unbelievable, Motown said. The woman should not even be holding office at this point. And hopefully she won't get a pass, because she always seems to get a pass. Other people don't, but she seems to get a pass. And it's always excuses like, oh, she just has a different way of speaking on her language. It's different, blah, blah, blah. Barbara said there were pictures of them at dinner holding hands I saw weeks back. Yeah, well, he was just comforting her, Barbara. I'm sure she was having a panic attack or something. Thanks. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for coming in. So, yeah, kind of just, the woman is amazing. But here's the thing. Here's something else that came out of it. The Alabama GOP came up with something, and I want to tell you what it is. They said Representative Omar has engaged in rhetoric that explicitly runs in counter to American values and patriotism by falsely accusing U.S. armed forces of committing war crimes. Thank you, Alabama GOP. You're being responsible. You're being proactive here. while on missions to liberate her home country of Somalia. So she said she accused them, the military, of committing war crimes in her country. Well, I thought America was her country, but anyway, her country of Somalia. They came up with a resolution. Michael said some people somewhere did something. Yes. Ryan said someone did something while holding hands. That's true. Judy said the only reason she's in office is because District 5 in Minnesota is a refugee settlement. Yeah. And you wonder how many people in that refugee settlement are really eligible to vote. Has anybody checked into that? So anyway, the resolution also noted that she dismissed the 9/11 terror attacks waged by radical Islam and sympathized with convicted terrorists by pushing for sentencing leniency. Rick said the prince in power of the air takes care of his tools. State Representative Tommy Haynes introduced the resolution in Alabama, which the party approved on a voice vote. Only one Republican, I wish I knew who that was, voted against the measure for the Alabama political... never mind. So Fox News that Omar's actions were sympathetic to radical Islam and that this was enough to expel her from Congress. Well, yes, it should be, right? Why is she still here? Well, here again, poor victim, Ilhan Omar. This is what she had to say. Sorry, Alabama GOP, but this is a representative democracy. I was elected with 78% of the vote by the people of Minnesota, 5th District, not the Alabama Republican Party. If you want to clean up politics, maybe don't nominate an accused child molester as your Senate candidate. Isn't she a peach? Seriously? Isn't she a peach? So, in other words, she was throwing some shade, as they say, at Roy Moore in Alabama. So, in other words, all that they came up with won't amount to anything, but at least it's out there. Robin said she hates America and the Jews. Obama planned by placing them there. Judy said Minnesota voting laws are ludicrous, very open for fraud. Maybe Judicial Watch, I don't know, instead of looking just at California, go ahead and look at Minnesota as well. And maybe they have already, but obviously it's something that they should do. We're kind of at the halfway point. If you don't mind going ahead and sharing this again, we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll get that going, and then we'll keep going. There we go. So just share, if you will, with everyone. So anyway, poor thing, she's a victim. She's just a victim. I say Roy was innocent, Barbara said. Judy said absolutely on Judicial Watch looking into it. Yeah, they really should. I mean, because let's face it, if you're going to do one state, you should do the other. California, of course, there's fraud here. My gosh, you get all those people on the voting roll that haven't voted in probably their whole lives, and some that are dead, still registered to vote. There's a problem with that. And Judicial Watch looked into that and got about 1 million people being cleared off the voting rolls because of it. I mean, great job. I don't even know if these people get any sleep because they have so much to do. Omar, boo-hoo, I know. She's always crying. She's always the victim. Always the victim. I saw that, I should have gotten this for you, but there was somebody, that white, whatever hat thing that she wears, I don't know what you call it, headdress that she wears, and I said looks like she rolled toilet paper around there, like what my grandmother used to do when she and other people did when they would have their hair done. They want to make sure it stays in place. Somebody compared it to a Q-tip. So I thought that was pretty good too. It does kind of look like a Q-tip. So like I said, note to self and everyone else, never put a white headdress on your head like that. It does look like either toilet paper or Q-tips to some people. Robin said her diaper. And Barbara said it was too much like Kava the first time, so they tried again. I don't know what that one's reference to. Judy's rolling on the floor laughing. But it's so true. I mean, if you look at it, you have to say, okay, there's something to that. All right. Now, the DOJ, hey, Teresa, the DOJ did indict some people. It indicted 8 people by a federal grand jury on charges of conspiring to violate copyright laws by running 2 of the largest pirate TV show and movie streaming sites. So that's a little bit of information. What, there are some prosecutions going on. There are some indictments going on, but so far, none in our government. So there you go. Good morning, Teresa said. Finally, I know, finally. Let's see. Also, President Trump made it no secret yesterday that he said on Wednesday, and he tweeted out that Fox News has become too hospitable to Democrats and isn't working for us anymore, arguing that his supporters have to start looking for new websites, new places to get their news. Now, I do agree with that. Fox News is becoming very liberal. Hey, Pamela. And it's becoming very obvious that they are. So, again, the president's not one to hold back what he's thinking. And he said that Just Watch Fox News heavily promoting the Democrats through their DNC communications director, Donna, spewing out whatever she wanted with zero pushback by anchor Sandra Smith, from Fox. I was surprised it wasn't Shepard Smith. Terrible considering that Fox couldn't even land a debate. The Dems give them nothing. CNN and MSNBC. Let me get the other tweet that he wrote. Get the other one up here on the screen for you. Are all in for the open border socialist or beyond. Fox hires Give Hillary the Questions, Donna Brazile, Juan Williams, and low-rating Shep Smith. Hopeless and clueless, they should go all the way left, and I will still find a way to win. That's what I do. Win. Too bad. So there you go. Not one to, again, mince words. He's telling it like it is, and I don't know what to say about that. I think, we obviously do need other websites, other news reporting, other media that we can go to. Teresa said, I was expecting Jay Sekulow to start up a new news media. Well, I don't know that he will, Teresa, but Shepard Smith has been against Trump from day one, Chicago Pop said. Oh, absolutely. Fox is fake again. Pamela said, Fox is part of the MSM now, Robin said. Rick said, awesome. Judy said, ouch. Robin said, that's why we love him, doesn't hold back. Yeah, absolutely. And, you have to be careful. Yeah, as a president, you have to be careful because you don't want it to look like that you are having a state-run media. Well, we have a state-run media, and it's called the mainstream media. But it's not for this state and not for this administration, but it's for the left. We do need other voices for the right. We need bigger news organizations. We need someone to fund those organizations because we don't have that. Elaine said RSBN is good. Barbara said OANN, One America News. I think we could do better, honestly. I think that we could take the Hannitys and the Judge Janines and some of those other people from Fox who are conservative and put them on their own network, maybe with Mark Levin, and build that up. We just don't seem to have the money that the left does from their donors and other billionaires to get that done, which is a shame. So I don't know. Again, with what's happening, when people were telling me a long time ago that they were having their posts removed from Facebook, and I was thinking, I don't know if they're actually removing their posts without telling them, until it happened to me with my Facebook the other day with a show having that removed, and now I've got to wonder, are they just that blatant now that they're totally removing posts right in front of your eyes? Karen said we need honest, non-biased news people, and then Danielle said General Mattis came out slamming President Trump. Yeah, that was ridiculous. And Motown said Gutfeld, I guess. I don't know what his name is. I don't watch him, so. But yeah, I think we need somebody that we're just not getting. Now, if you listen to some of the Periscope pundits, they think everybody is bad. And that everybody is being paid off, even those on the right. Barbara said Levin has a small network going, so maybe. Yeah, it doesn't even really belong to him anymore, Barbara. It belongs to Glenn Beck. Robin said it happened to me and others I know many times. Facebook does remove posts. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, when it happened to me, then I know for sure that it does happen. And people say, well, maybe it was a glitch. Okay, maybe it was. We'll see. But I don't think it was a glitch. Never happened before. Motel said they are hunky-dory with Brazil on the 5. I was surprised. Yeah. Well, they have to act like that even if they're not. Robin said, I won't pay for the Blaze. Yeah, neither will I. Yeah. So, but I do like Mark Levin. And I think there's other people. Michael Savage. Get Michael. I don't know if Michael Savage would want to do TV. But get people like Michael Savage. Like, his voice has been taken off of everything. And like Michael Savage or hate Michael Savage, he comes up with some really good stuff. Some of it a little bit conspiratorial. But, hey, Rini is Smalley? I don't know. From Greece. Hi from Greece anyway. Oh, well, forget it. Cannot go back to Beck. No, not going back to Beck. Beck has some good things that he does and that his people put together for him to get out there and look like he really knows what he's talking about, which is great. And that's how, you got all the reports and linking with Soros. Those were good reports put together by his people. And I like that, but, well, thank you. Anyway, so Fox News declined to comment on what the president said. And that was that. We'll see what happens. And it's funny because Hannity didn't make any mention of it. Chicago Pop says it's starting. The president needs to brace for a storm of attacks like no other president has seen. Well, in Chicago Pops, I mean, look at what the other day they said he wanted to use nuclear weapons to stop hurricanes, and an absolute lie. I mean, come on. And then they had that guy, what was his name? I have the story here that came out the other day from MSNBC, Lawrence O'Donnell, who came out and said, President Trump had a loan and it was co-signed or whatever by a Russian oligarch. And then later on, Donald Trump Jr. and the attorneys for President Trump came out and sent him a cease and desist letter and basically telling them you need to retract what you said. And all of a sudden it was like, oh gosh, I really shouldn't have said what I said. And gee golly, I'm so sorry. And I wasn't thinking. He said, last night I made an error in judgment by reporting an item about the president's finances that didn't go through our rigorous verification and standards process. I really would like to know what that process is because it seems like everything is the same. Now, he said, I shouldn't have reported it and I was wrong to discuss it on the air. I will address the issue on my show tonight. And let's face it, the reason he was going to do any of that is because he got the letter from the Trump attorney saying, we're going to sue you. And apparently, Eric Trump had said Eric Trump is going to sue him anyway. So I don't know maybe Eric Trump was one of the signatories on the loan that he was saying that the Russian oligarch signed. So that would give him standing to sue. And I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we'll see. We will see. I think it would be interesting, and I say go for it and start suing these people and seeing if you can get some justice that way. Robin said, who cares? He's a jerk. Lawrence O'Donnell is a jerk. Yeah. He's an idiot with a smarmy apology. Yeah, it's true, Elaine. And who cares would be the people of the mainstream media that seem to care about that, and the people on the left who watch the mainstream media. And that's where the problem comes in. If you're lying about the president, it's one thing when you say, yeah, Michael said, why threaten, just do it. Well, I think, Michael, a court would say, did you give them a chance to apologize and retract it? So that's why they're doing it. They're just taking the steps that they know a court's going to address. Chicago Pop said, it will not matter what is true. If you throw crap on the wall, some will stick. Absolutely, Chicago Pops. And there are still people who believe that he is in bed with Russia, no matter what. Barbara said they say anyone could see these papers. Yep, they're on publicly published. That seems strange. Banks like that are closed mouth. Maybe they had to publish them, Barbara, for what President Trump did. I think there was some question about how he got that loan, and he may have published them before because of it. Kim said everyone should watch Laura Loomer's video where Facebook let it be known that it's okay to post death threats to dangerous individuals and organizations. Yeah, and Kim, Laura Loomer right now is she is suing Rashida Tlaib. Now she's suing Rashida Tlaib for assault, I believe, or something like that, because I saw the video. Rashida in the video allegedly grabs Laura Loomer's phone while she's trying to film her and says that she's stalking and things of that nature. Now, Laura is asking for $2 million. I don't think she's going to get $2 million. I don't know if she's going to get anything from that. Laura, if I had been Laura, I would have asked for an assault and battery charge to be brought against her right then and there, and asked for the police to arrest her on that, and had that going. And it's still not too late, I don't believe. I don't know if this happened in 2018 or when it did, but Laura may need to talk to her attorneys and find out if there should be any criminal prosecution that goes along with it. I mean, if you're going to bring a case against somebody, then throw everything in there, because it legitimately, you cannot, in most states, you cannot grab something that somebody is holding. That's called a battery, and an assault and battery. Tim said O'Donnell deliberately tried to harm the Trump organization with current and future banking relationships. Absolutely, Tim. If that wasn't his intent, it sure was an unintentional result that could have happened. And I think that's one of the reasons that Eric Trump is probably going after him. Okay, let me see this photo that we have next. Get this up here if I can. All right, so this is Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut. He said that he's working with others, which, let's see, I think that's Pat Toomey, Joe Manchin, and they're trying to bring up legislation, hopefully that it would become law, that he said the White House has made it clear to him that they are very open to legislation that would expand background checks. And that's what the president told him personally, he says, and that's what the White House reiterated to him. And he's hoping that there's like a 50-50 chance that his legislation and everybody else's that he's working with it's going to work. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime I hear that there's a Democrat involved in anything and talking to the White House, I'm skeptical about it, and quite frankly, sometimes hope that it doesn't work, so that I'm sure there's always like poison pills, as they say, in their legislation. Vicky said someone owes Janet Cook an apology. Remember her? She worked for the Washington Post, made up a story, won a Pulitzer Prize for it. They found out it was fake. This was back in the late 70s, and fired her. She's now writing fiction. Who would have thought the MSM would be following the Star and the National Enquirer? Vicky said. Do Dems will wear ties less often? I wonder, Motown said. It's all in the details, Judy said. Yeah, Robin said, I'm very skeptical about making deals with Dems. Yeah, absolutely. Every time. Very skeptical about it. Now, I don't know if you heard yesterday, but Johnny Isakson from Georgia, he's going to step down from the Senate at the end of the year, citing health issues. He's, I believe 74 years old. And as you might guess, the Democrats are starting to circle around thinking, wow, this is a great chance for us that we can maybe win that seat. Now, the thing of it is, this is Stacey Abrams, and she has said she's not interested in running for Senate. I don't know if she's still hoping against hope that Biden is going to get the nomination and she's going to be his vice president. Barbara said, well, somebody needs to look like they're doing something. Yeah, I know. So anyway, that's good that she's not going to be the person who's running for that position. But, we're losing a lot of people, and we're going to have to do something, because that's just too many people that we're losing seats. If we lose the Senate and we don't take back the House and get them both, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And if we don't win the presidency, as we all know, hang it up. Hang it up. Stacey isn't interested. Biden wants it. Yeah, I know, Motown. Robin said Abrams needs to go away. She acts like she won. Well, yeah, she thinks she won. Judy says that oh, he does. Wow. Isaacson has Parkinson's disease. Never going to happen, Barbara said. Oh my gosh, Motown, that's why we need the 24/7 prayer. Absolutely, Robin. I'm telling you that I'm not just putting up the 24/7 prayer room just for looks. I'm not. I think we absolutely need to have it, and we need to get it quickly, and we should have been doing it for the last 2 years, but we certainly need to be doing it now and up past the election, because we need to absolutely win back the House and have the Senate and the presidency. Yes, but they come from Republican states and areas, so new Republican will come along, hopefully. Oprah's gal, Michael said about Stacey Abrams. Any law that any Democrat agrees to regarding guns, and it means they already figured out how to break it. True, Tim. I think that's a pretty true statement. That's why I totally don't trust what they're doing, what they're saying. And we shouldn't be working with the Democrats. I mean, have them sit over in a corner and go, yeah, okay, all right, we'll write that up. We'll take a look at it. And then meantime, be over here and saying what you're really going to do and trying to figure out if there's anything that you should do. Because again, as we've talked about, a lot of these things that have happened recently, background checks wouldn't have mattered. Red flag laws wouldn't have mattered. Because criminals, as we all know, they don't go through background checks. They don't. They get around the red flag laws. People don't usually turn them in, but good citizens are usually the ones that hear something now and turn people in, because they know that at least in the Trump administration that something's going to be done. All right, so now this is from my article today at my website at susanknowles.com. Trump administration just changed the policy on who is automatically considered a citizen. If you haven't gotten that today, I hope that you go and look at that look at that, article. I pray Trump realizes he can't work with Dems. Yeah, I think Robin, he pretty much knows that, but who knows what his handlers will say and how that he should try to work with them. All right, so I don't know about you guys. I don't like the fact that the Trump administration has taken away now, where it no longer considers children of U.S. government employees and U.S. Armed Forces members residing outside of the United States to be residing in the United States. And what that means is, if you have let's say a pregnant spouse, and you're in the military, and you go over to Okinawa, Japan, and your spouse has I'm assuming spouse, your whatever, but for the military, let's say spouse, that your spouse has a baby, that baby being born to two American citizens under this rule will not be automatically an American citizen. I frankly don't like that. What they will have to do is go through and apply and go through the naturalization process. Now, on the other hand, somebody with, let's say, two parents, foreigners, that come to the United States on a vacation, and the woman has the child in the United States on American soil, that baby will automatically be an American citizen. But isn't that in the Constitution? No, it isn't, Monica. What's in the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, the birthright, just stepping on American soil, that's in the Constitution. They don't call it that. They talk about being on, American soil, and that makes you an American citizen, and that's kind of in the 14th Amendment. And we've never done anything to amend that 14th Amendment. And the president wanted to do an executive order to take out that birthright citizenship. And he's going to have an uphill battle with that because people are going to look at it and say, you can't amend the Constitution by an executive order, which is correct. But what he's going to say, what they're going to have to argue is that part of that where it says in the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, under the jurisdiction of the United States, they're going to argue that a child born from a foreigner in the United States is not under the jurisdiction under the United States and therefore should not be a citizen. Vicky said, wasn't John McCain born in Panama? He was able to run for president. Vicky, that was because we just now changed that rule. When John McCain was born, that rule was in effect that saying that if your parents were overseas and you were born to military people overseas, you were automatically a citizen. They just changed that rule. What was debunked, Lori? So, if that story is debunked, this came out yesterday, and if the president isn't going along with that, I saw it in several different places. So if it's debunked, great, it should be. If it's not, I think it's a problem. I don't like the fact that the military's children would not be automatic citizens. What about Cruz? The law was still in effect, Motown. It's the INA and the USIS. It was still in effect. That's what part is allegedly now by the Trump administration being changed. So when Cruz was born and everything else, that was fine because that law was in effect. But aren't military bases U.S. soil? I don't know, Chesney, if that's going to mean that or not, because they're saying that even military that are overseas that won't count. There may be foreign parents that wouldn't want their child to be an American citizen. Name one, Teresa. Military babies should be automatic citizens. Absolutely. And again, I don't know. This came out in several reports last night. So I was hoping that it was just something that somebody reported and it wasn't true. I think if they're going to do this, they can do that for people maybe working in the government. But for the military, I'm absolutely against that 100%. That I think that automatically military babies, because what that would mean too is, let's say you had a family again that was going to go to Okinawa and the woman's pregnant, right? That would kind of cause her and maybe the rest of the family to stay behind, because if you're not on American soil when your baby's born, if you're in the military, then you go through the naturalization process, which could mean that you wouldn't be able to be president. Because that is still unresolved issue that people are looking at right now. Motel said, I'm American, husband isn't. My kids were born in Japan, have American passports in the future. No. Well, if the children are born in America by birthright citizenship, they would be American citizens. That's got to be a mistake. Well, I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but that this has to do with they're talking about the military and the government. So it says that the children of government U.S. government employees and U.S. Armed Forces that were born outside of the United States would no longer be considered as residing in the United States, which would make them automatic citizens. So that's not talking about anybody else. Hey, Clara, just listening to today's sinus issues. Oh, I'm sorry, Clara. Barbara said bases and embassies are U.S. soil. It's residing. You have to be residing in the United States. So, Barbara, they're saying, according to what they're saying, that would mean that if you're in the government and you're in the military, and you're outside of the United States when the baby is born, then that baby is not automatically a U.S. citizen. Again, that's what's being alleged right now. I'm going to kind of wait and see what if the administration says anything further, but that came out yesterday and it was quietly put in place. The only thing is that they can't be president, I think, different from other rights. I think. See, Motown, that's just it. If you have to go through the naturalization process. To me, that's not fair. And the issue right now is some say that doesn't matter. You should be able to be president. Like Cruz would have been, somebody would have gone and said, he shouldn't be president because of the fact that he wasn't born here. John McCain, nobody questioned that. People were questioning that and still are questioning that in regards to Kamala Harris for different reasons. So I wouldn't even want there to be a question. I would want it to be you're automatically a citizen and you could be president someday if you wanted to. I honestly think that the military should be exempt in that. If they're going to do that, then exempt the military. And I think it's unfair if this is true. I think it's unfair to have that and still have that birthright citizenship on the books. It's not fair. Robin said Horowitz is corrupt. Why is he corrupt, Robin? It didn't hinder Obama, Linda said. Well, but Obama was supposedly born in Hawaii, Linda. That's why. Robin said, not fair at all. They can't help that they're overseas serving our country. That's right. That's right, Barbara. Robin, and Barbara said agreed. Yeah, they can't. And again, that would cause families to stay behind because they were like, well, I want my child born here. So, yeah, you're looking at this again, and the way I see this thing, we have, our laws are just crazy these days. And the laws that we have, some of them are just not being, yeah, Robin, but we talked about that at the very beginning. Some of those charges, Robin, maybe because they were ethics violations and not criminal violations, Robin. And what's coming is we'll have to see what he does with the FISA application. The Comey signed that under penalty of perjury. We'll have to see if there are any charges there. If there are no charges there on Comey, then, we're at least I am. I'm looking at saying then Barr is part of the swamp. But so far, it's right on the edge because it could be very much ethical violations. Now, I think with the ethical violations, again, the Bar Association, whatever state that Comey is in, should be looking at those ethical violations and seeing whether or not he should be disbarred. Judy said, God help us. Hey, Debbie Treadway on Facebook. Good to see you. So other things could happen to Comey. Not that he would care, not that he practices law, but who knows? And if anything, it wouldn't matter. CNN would just hire him like they did Andrew McCabe. So Comey will be better off doing whatever job he wants on CNN or any place else. He'll have more money. He won't care if he has a bar license or not. The problem with Obama was not his place of birth as much as where he was raised, how you're taught in these growing years and influences you for the rest of your life. He was raised in Indonesia as well as Hawaii. Vicky, understand that. Totally understand that. Totally agree with that. That if if you're not raised primarily in America, you're not really, you don't know and understand the culture of America. And people today apparently don't really care about that because Ilhan Omar, I don't know how long she's been in the country, but I don't think she was raised here. Maybe IG is looking at each point, Danielle said. CNN wants to be the place they all go to, Robin said. That's the go-to place. Absolutely. It's just unbelievable. It's a sad state of affairs. Another reason, one more reason, that we should have the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week prayer room at SusanKnowles.com. If you haven't gone there for the sign-ups and signed up yet, please do. I say now's the time to pardon Flynn. Getting there, Barbara. I bet you he's going to wait until after the election. Obama thought there were 57 states. I know Motown because he's Obama. Also, I put out a tweet earlier, and it was about God's views, but it was from a website called Brighteon, BRIGHTEON.com. It is another place that you can post your videos, like on YouTube, but this you can have your own channel there. It's free, and you can post your videos. Now, I posted the God's Views video there. Oh, Margie, you're sick. Oh no, too many people are sick today. Hope you get better. But if you would go to BRIGHTEON.com or follow the link that I put out earlier, and just go there and maybe leave a comment or view just a minute or two of the video that I put there so that I can get more views on there. The more views you get, the more videos you can post. I'm going to start posting this video there to try to build up there, just in case. I need another platform just in case that all these other platforms go away for us conservatives. So anyway, I hope you will support me in that. And go there sometime today and look for my channel. It's Susan Knowles. And there's a space between Susan and Knowles, just like you wrote your name. So that's my channel. Follow the links, et cetera, et cetera. Please just, if you will, support me on that so that I can, again, have another place to go. Hey now, Faith, how are you? Have a safe day, all. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. God bless you, Susan. Thank you for all that you do, Susan. Thank you, Michael. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Michael. Michael went over on YouTube. All right, everybody. God bless you. Please, if you will, retweet this, share this, and I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless. Take care.